Hi, everybody. Welcome to Liquid Lunch. It's me, Hugh, and Shannon is here, at least for now.
Yes.
We've got a very big and complicated show today. Daryl's in the house as well. And we've got some great topics coming up, so I'm glad you're with us.
Thank
and
you.
We're going to start the show off with Shy.
Thank you.
Because we're talking about trends in digital marketing strategies.
Very exciting
today.
trends, yes.
And you've got a new book out all about this.
Yes, I do. Make an impact with digital marketing strategies.
Right. And so this is for anybody out there who's in any kind of business, really.
Exactly, because digital is so dynamic, it's changing every day. So whoever's interested, consultants, small business, large business, it's relevant to anyone who wants to grow an online presence.
Right.
Yes.
And we're even going to get into AI a little bit.
Yes.
Right?
So love the topic of AI.
You do?
Yes.
Well, you're going to stick around for our next guest as well.
Of course I have to. I wouldn't miss it.
A U of T professor going to be talking about AI.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be very fascinating show today.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Shannon, I know because you're involved in digital marketing as well, right? So I think we both probably have a lot that we can learn today.
Oh, I think so. I mean, there's always something to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay,
Very
Shy.
excited.
So let's see now. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start by talking about some of the top brands?
Of course. So the first thing I'd like to point out, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote my book, is that when I've met business, large, medium, even my social network, when I talk about digital marketing strategy, I get a glazed look. So I'd like to take you through...
You get a glazed look?
Yeah, maybe it's just me that no. But they're like, digital marketing strategies? Isn't that just posting on social media and Facebook and taking a picture? No. So my book and my consulting is about competitive marketing. So it's based on you growing your brand through online channels. And like we're doing now, we're using an online platform to reach our audience to video and live streaming.
Yeah.
So you can take this concept onto email, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, podcasts, websites, e-commerce, social apps. The list is endless. So strategy is all about how to present your brand in a competitive way so you stand out and reach your target audience. And basically it comes to influencing your market and building a relationship with them so they know what to buy, how to reach you, and also how to engage with you.
So I think it's a good opportunity for, I think one of the things that this whole new environment, all these digital platforms that people use for marketing, it kind of puts the little guy on an equal platform with all the big guys.
Exactly. That's a really good point.
So it's a real opportunity, but on the other hand, it's a constantly evolving environment.
Yes.
So you can't just set up your strategy and then let it go because there's new ways to use digital marketing all the time.
Yes. So
right?
there's new changing algorithms and tools. For example, Instagram now is testing sort of phasing out likes, and because that was causing a lot of anxiety within teenagers and how they view themselves. So they're always trying. So what digital social platforms are going to...
That's normal around here. It's a busy newsroom type environment here at ThatChannel.
That's fine.
Always above
Breaking news always on that channel.
We're live streaming, that's fine. So I mentioned algorithms constantly change according to user behaviors and what's good for a platform and their social audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Those likes were every time you got a like, you got a little dopamine hit, right?
that's exactly it, and that's why social media and digital platforms are addictive. But it's just using social tools for good. So promoting a lot, we can support each other online. It doesn't have to be competition. It can be a lot of collaboration as well.
Right, and that's just an example of how the environment is constantly changing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, do you want to talk about some specific digital marketing strategies?
Yes, so I've published thought leadership blogs, and I think right now what we're seeing is that with Digital Channel, it's very easy to get you exposed. If you're a brand that's saying you're ethical and you're authentic, we do expect you to then create sustainable products so that what you're saying is being put into action. For example, we have brands like Zara, who's a retail brand, and they're building sustainability clothing with terms of the waste and using recycled materials. Adidas also sponsored plastics and recyclable plastic to make running shoes. So with social media, I'd say being authentic isn't about how much hype you're generating. It's about concrete steps that you're taking to connect with your audience and really build authenticity and trust in your industry. So it's no longer just I'm going to hype and put the latest buzzwords out there. We want new ideas, and I think the demographics are really digital savvy as well. So innovation, authenticity would be at the top. I think it's up to us to use these tools, like I said, for collaboration, positivity, and then you have players who don't understand it. And like I said, your insecurities in what you do is being exposed now on digital channels. So you can no longer hide somewhere and, voice your opinions. Things are getting leaked, information's coming out. So if you're a business that says you're ethical, make sure that you're not going to have a whistleblower, then have a whole PR fiasco around anything you're not doing. Same with bullying online. It's up to us to create how we're going to use these platforms. So, yeah. It's hard to moderate that, and I'm sure, Twitter, Facebook, Google are trying to moderate, fake news and bullying and stuff, but it's difficult.
Yeah, it's almost like a lot of these social, like Facebook, for example, right? Perhaps a great example is one of the first, if not the first. I guess it wasn't the first, but social media
MySpace
platforms.
would have been.
Yeah, MySpace was probably their first, but it just seems like kind of like Facebook is really meant for just individual people to just communicate with other individual people. So the idea of using these platforms as a marketing tool almost comes as an afterthought. And it completely changes the dynamics of how companies or businesses think about communication.
Yes, so there's two ways to look at it. So if Facebook, even online channels like we're doing video and stuff, you have to keep the community element and one-on-one engagement, because we are creating the content and they're using our content. But businesses, can't be shut out as well, because then they have to monetize their platforms through selling ads. So it's a good way to, with AI-based systems as well, to see what your interests and preferences are, and then target ads specific to you. So it has to work both ways.
So let's talk about AI a little bit, since you mentioned it, and we're going to have a great conversation about it later. But let's talk about it specifically in the context of digital marketing. Okay,
so this is a growing industry, and I think that there is struggle in how to utilize all these new tools. But if you're a marketer, you have vast amounts of data on your users in terms of demographics, who they are, where they're shopping, what channels they're visiting, what their social posts are. So all that gets plugged into huge data and crunching. So then if you're in marketing, you can tailor how you're pushing or pulling ads and content that's relevant to your market. So AI is basically just like gathering data and crunching through all the information to then push out relevant content that's based on business or products, or selling what's relevant for you. And so it's just interesting to see how that's going to pan out and how much data which businesses are going to control.
Give us an example of a company right now that's using AI in a really cool way.
Sure. So we're all part of this AI system. So when you go into Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you've logged into a video, then that information then feeds back into an artificial system that then knows what information you've looked at, what cookies have been tracked, to then push the same content back to you. So whatever you were interested in at that moment can say, hey, you might be interested in looking at this product, or watching this video, or buying XYZ recommended product on Amazon or Netflix. So it's all in the background as is, and we're part of that data.
Most of these social media networks were built on a person-to-person kind of communication in mind,
for
right?
Social, yes.
And it's almost like, in a sense, companies have lost the ability to control the message that they're putting out, because there's so much third-party talk about if a company says they're one thing but their performance is another, then that's going to get
Yeah.
the public will bring that up to each other, right?
Yes.
And obviously that means that things like social responsibility are really important
Yes.
for these companies and for small businesses as well. So how does that relate to digital marketing?
I think that's a good point because there's 3 ways to do this. So if you want to build trust and have a relationship with your market, you have to do what's relevant for them. And so the community, this is where businesses and community can collaborate. Your audience will tell you they're interested in climate change or sustainability, recycled plastics, and those type of products, and they're willing to pay more oftentimes for ethical products. So businesses now are in a position where if they want to grow and build influence and a reputation, they have to be ethical, and they have to work to also listen to what the community wants. And social platform is a great way for collaboration.
You just recently wrote a book.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I just published it on Amazon beginning of this year.
Now,
Yeah, digital marketing strategies.
is that the name of the book?
Yes.
Make an impact with digital
key
marketing
digital marketing strategies.
So
Yes.
who is the ideal target audience for the book?
Actually, what I found is since I've published my blogs, a lot of content that was in this book is now trending. So I've talked about strategies and specific strategies for each platform, and then building trust, authenticity, digital transformation, and AI. So anyone who's interested, small business, big business, you can get value from this book. And I've pointed out specific business case studies as well to take you through.
Okay,
Yes,
so this would be
that's it.
for, like you say, any small or medium-sized business,
Yes,
and maybe they have no clue about
Yes.
digital marketing.
And it's very surprising right now. There's a lot of confusion, and I'm finding people really need valuable content and specific examples, not just hype and, this is a trending buzzword for the day. It's concrete case studies, ideas, innovation, and what are you doing? And we don't have time to just read, the latest article that's being thrown at you. You want concrete information, especially for digital marketing. So I have specifically written this book to take you step by step and show you examples of what to do and how to strategize.
So for some company that maybe really doesn't have a clue, or maybe they're just kind of got some ad hoc digital marketing strategy.
Yes.
Or maybe somebody told them, oh, you got to get on Instagram. Or
Take a picture.
Right?
Yeah.
So this would be able to help those kind of businesses
Yes.
kind of really wrap their head around the whole social media, digital marketing
Yes.
thing, and help them
Yes.
create their own strategy.
Yes, so I believe in competitive marketing, and I think if you're ethical, we need to be competitive and ethical about how we do business. So it comes into efficiency. If you do want to stand out, and maybe your competitor is not writing specific blogs, you have a gap and you can fill it that way, or maybe build up your videos or online streaming. There's so many channels you can use to stand apart. So
And I guess it would depend on what kind of business they have,
yes,
right?
and how they want to reach the target market.
So do you
Yes.
help, I guess do you have suggestions about, depending on the different kinds of business, how to approach selecting or designing their whole strategy?
Yes. Building your brand online. So
Yeah.
if you don't have a huge budget or agency, you can basically build your own brand in terms of its design and then content. So, and then also your customer experience. So when they engage with you, whether they go to your website, they call your customer service, they buy your product, just make sure it flows seamlessly. So just building yourself, not just online, but then that same brand persona is what your customers will experience every time they interact with you.
Even in the real world?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of
Yes.
course, there's a lot of tools now too that can help people build their brands. I mean,
Exactly.
you can just buy a website template and adapt it so easily.
Yes.
Things like that.
So, one thing I hear from a lot of people, small business people, or anybody that's doing marketing on social media is the time involved.
Yeah.
They got to spend so much
A lot
time,
of time.
sitting on their phone doing stuff rather than doing their business. Do you address that issue?
Yes, I do. That's where competitive marketing comes in. So whatever effort you put in, you need to get maximum results. Back to strategy, you have to know your brand, you have to know what makes you unique, and then tailor your marketing that way. And then you can use automated channels. And there's a lot of software, like you mentioned, websites and stuff, where you can just do that.
Automate your whole digital?
Well, yes,
marketing?
there's a few companies that I've mentioned. I don't want to be promoting any brand specifically.
No, but are
this
they in the
chat.
book?
Yes, they are. So
'Cause
there's
that's what we're promoting right now.
so there are sources and
Yeah.
links that you can look at, sort of to help you in terms of graphic design and websites and emailing. And then when you get into AI, hopefully it's going to be a lot easier. So you can just have your tools manage a lot of that kind of stuff for you. Like content creation gets pushed out ahead of time.
Okay, great. So I guess the first step would be for people to get their hands on the book, which is
Yes.
just out today, right?
Well, not exactly out today on your channel. Yes.
Yeah, well, exactly.
My official
I thought you
launch.
said you were bringing the book.
My
down.
official launch.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
how do people get their hands on the book?
So you can tag me on social media at Shyaz Digital, and it pulls up my website, Instagram, and links to my book and my YouTube channel as
Okay.
well. Yes.
Yeah, are there links right on your website?
Yes,
Where they
everything.
can order the book?
Yes, it's on
what's-
Amazon.
Okay, so Amazon, they can look up Make an Impact with Digital
Yeah, and they
Marketing
can browse
Strategies?
through the first chapter.
Okay. Oh, they
for
get
free.
the first chapter
Look
for
inside,
free
yes.
even. Is it available as an ebook as well?
It is on Kindle.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay. And so
And
they
the
can get
print
the hard
version.
copy?
Yes, and the
Or
print version.
or the e.
And I am promoting the digital version, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So on my website, which is strategy3inspire.com.
Strategy3inspire.com.
Yes.
And also, we talked about it being a dynamic, ever-changing environment. So
Yeah.
besides the book, they can also subscribe
Read
to your
my-
blog or?
Yes, I have a newsletter, but
Yeah.
I do write a lot of thought leadership blogs. So
Okay, great. Where do they go for
stay
that?
tuned for on my website.
Strategy3inspire.com.
Yes. Just tag me in social media at
Yeah,
Shyaz
see?
Digital.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Shai.
Great.
This has been great.
This is great. Thank you for having me.
Okay. You're welcome. Looking
I
forward
wish
to
you
reading
all
the
the
book.
best.
Thank you
and
so
success
much.
with your book.
Thank you.
Great.
All right, so we're going to take a little break here on Liquid Lunch. We're going to talk about keep the AI conversation
Yes.
going. I know you're looking forward to
I
this,
am, of
Shai.
course.
So take a little break here, and we'll be right back after this on ThatChannel.com.